Good evening, everyone. This is Katrina and Tania, ambassadors from Perth, Western Australia. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. If someone can just let me know in the questions box that you can hear me, that would be fantastic.
And also hear me, Tania.
I can't hear you, you're on mute. Yep, cool. So you can
hear me, Tania, as well? Can everyone hear me as well? Clearly, Katrina?
Yep. Cool. Cool, guys. So we're stepping in tonight for Leo, and we're going to be running a webinar on mindset and belief. Tanya's going to start off.
Hi everyone, I'm doing really well. So this is something that Kiwi and I have thrown together relatively quickly because it's a thing that we run with our own team. Being in the business now 5 months, we know that mindset and belief seems to be the biggest hurdle that our team has. So because we've grown so quickly in Australia, and we're learning ourselves, we've also had to get our own mindset and belief into that space. Our trip to Canada certainly solidified where we sat in the business and helped create our own belief and mindset that we've tried to continue to run through our downlines and teams throughout Australia and the world. So again, just pushing on that fact that success in this business is all about mindset and belief. So if you can conceive it and you can perceive it, and if you can perceive it, you can achieve it. And in order to do that, you can then receive it. And so it makes you realize just how amazing mindset and belief is to actually create success in this business. So pretty much what we're going to talk to first off is your role as an upline. Really important for you to be positive. And any negativity you have, we always take it up. So take it up to your own upline and send the positivity down. If you're sitting in a space of negativity, it will only reflect in your downlines. And so if you ever have those low flat days, and we all have them, okay, I'm being told there's a major echo. All right, Rob, hold on.
Okay.
All right, can you hear me now without the echo? Can someone type in, let me know? Okay, thanks guys. We're just, technology is not our greatest point. So again, your role as an upline is being positive, and I've obviously typed everything in here so you can really have a good look at it. We don't want negativity to go down into your downlines, because when you have negativity going down, it just does not create that great space. So negative goes up and your positivity goes down. Again, we've been reiterating this over the last 2 weeks about using your My 5 and encouraging others to do the same. If you have a personal relationship with someone, it's all good and well. It's always good to throw things into your My 5, and the truth is, if you're not getting along with everyone in your My 5, then feel free to connect with others in the business, even if you're not financially connected to them. This is a culture that we run, and Katrina and I run throughout our teams. We work very closely with anybody in it, as long as they're doing GWT and they want to build a business, because whatever you put out is what you will receive in return. The other thing that you want to do is remember your why. You need to teach it to your downlines. This is a very big thing in GWT, which we'll show the slides shortly. I know Katrina's already done her slides on the why, on her why and why she joined GWT. It's a great way to reach out to your team, is to put up a raw and real video blog about why you joined GWT. So that why should make you cry, and we find it amazing because those that don't find the why or reach down and understand their why, they don't build a business as quickly as someone who really understands why they're doing the do. Now, Naylor did a great talk on this a couple of weeks ago, and if you get the chance on Naylor Scouter's YouTube channel to have a listen, because we found out some amazing stories in our team that really made us appreciate the people that we work with and understand why they're so driven to get the job done, and a newfound respect for those people, if that makes sense. I mean, me personally, I can tell you when I heard Rob's story on that webinar, yeah, it created an even better relationship between him and I because I respected and understood where he came from. Always remember why you joined. You know, call on it as you need to. You know, it's your why. And when you find your why and why you're doing the do, remember why when you sat down for us, Katrina and I had 6 hours with Ronan, and that was the reason why we joined. We understood a broader perspective of network marketing and understood why what we were doing in health and wellness was not working. And in those moments where you don't feel great or you're wondering why you're doing GWT, you should be calling on those moments and getting those feelings back on why it is that you joined such an awesome business.
Yeah, and I'm just going to jump in there. So, you know, we've been catching up with quite a few people in the wider team, and one of the first questions that I ask people is, why did you join GWT? You know, and people will say, oh, because of, you know, wanting to be my own boss and that financial freedom. But when I actually get down to the real why, you know, what attracted you to GWT? Why did you say yes to the opportunity? You know, what was it that made you want to launch your own BDM? Really get in touch with that, because whatever drew you into the business is probably going to be what will draw, draw other people into the business. So just remember why.
Yeah.
The next one is duplicate the system. So you'll hear us talk about this all the time. You know, you're not duplicatable. Tools and systems are. So you want to make sure that you're following the systems, but still be an individual. So that's not saying, you know, don't come up with fantastic ideas and ways of doing things. Be individual, be yourself, but just know that there's a system of tools that are there and available for you to duplicate. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. The company's nearly 10 years old and they do know what they're doing. You know, it just relates to the top in terms of duplication. You know, I have said to a couple of people in our team, you know, what happens tomorrow, heaven forbid, that you got hit by a bus? Can someone jump in and take over and mentor and support your team when you're not available to? So if you're not duplicatable, then it makes it very difficult.
Yeah, okay. A really big one, again, while we're doing this webinar, is working on the belief system, the tripod of belief. Again, Naylor has run through these slides. If you're not feeling the tripod of belief, and that is full belief in the company and products, full belief in network marketing industry, and full belief in yourself, ask those in the know, and then also watch the tripod of belief series over and over, over and over. You get a knockback, get on the tripod of belief series. Don't like how you're feeling, get on the tripod of belief series. I can tell you now, if you don't find the balance in all three at 100%, you may build your business, but it's not going to build as quick as someone who really believes in all three aspects of that. Okay, the tripod of belief is essential. Again, that then leads you to learning to differentiate between your purple trees and your brown trees in your prospecting. Understand this, we had an experience today that every no is worth $64. Go out and get the no's, because the no is one step closer to a yes and your financial freedom and your freedom for those people, because this is about gifting and receiving. It's not about just you becoming wealthy, it's about how you can change people's lives. And again, that's getting back into the mindset. What can you do for someone? You're doing a disservice if you don't actually talk to these people about what you're doing. Don't be afraid to talk about it and own it and sit in that space of belief that you are doing the right thing and that you are offering them an opportunity that is now, you know, endorsed by Donald Trump, for goodness sake. So just know that you are in the right place at the right time, especially when it comes to GWT. And finally, treat your business like it's a business, okay? You've just invested anywhere from $169 to $3.5 grand. Like, treat it like it's a business. Yes, you get all these tax refunds on it. It's fantastic. You can claim your coffees in your car and your internet and all this stuff. But, you know, energy for energy. If you're expecting to have $1 million income and you're putting, you know, 2 hours a week in, you may become a millionaire, don't get me wrong, but it's going to take some time. So if you're putting in and treating it like a full-time business or a part-time business, just understand that will be reflected in your income. Okay. Also, if anyone has any questions as we're going along, if you can just type them in, and then Katrina and I can answer them at the end. Okay, Kat?
So guys, one of the things we wanted to touch on in terms of getting your mindset and belief, and this is especially belief in yourself and belief that, you know, you are worthy of anything that you set your mind at, what your heart desires. And part of that is having gratitude. You too many of us complain about the smallest things, and we're not actually showing gratitude for what we do have. This has been one of my biggest lessons. We all want things, big things. We all, wish for that $1 million or, that new home or that new car or holidays. But actually, when you start to be grateful for the little things that you have, you start to manifest some of the things that you want. So showing gratitude is really important. So, personally, I say 10 gratitudes every morning when I wake up. Even writing them down is a really good thing to do. Saying them in the shower, whatever you need to do to show those gratitudes, just say them to the universe. Also, set your daily intentions. So what is it that you want out of the day? Make sure you're setting them each day and creating that positivity. And also putting affirmations. So this is one that I do. I've actually got them on my bathroom mirror. And a couple of our team that have been over actually love that idea. So, every morning I see the affirmations, and you're actually talking as in I am, not I want. So, I am successful. I am a successful entrepreneur, a successful business owner.
I'm just looking, guys, sorry to interrupt, I'm just checking to see if we're actually recording this event. Okay, sorry guys. Had someone message me to ask me if it's being recorded.
Another one is meditation. So a lot of us say we don't have time, not enough time in the day to meditate. Whatever you need to do to switch off, to just give yourself that little bit of a break, not just from, your business, but just life. So things that you can do to quieten your mind. People do different things. I personally have taken up colouring in, adult colouring books. But yoga, hugging your tree, reflection, exercise, Pilates, putting on the radio. There's a really cool channel called Buddha Radio here in Perth. That's on in my house all the time. And it's just, allowing you to quieten down your mind and take some time out.
Cool. Taking time out, now that's another big one because, when you start living, breathing, eating, sleeping GWT, yes, we're excited, but we also become exhausted. And, 5-6 months in with these huge goals that Katrina and I have set, which is to max out our sites, it's really important you guys take time out and really seriously take time out. And I'm not good at it. And I'm sure my daughter's listening in tonight. Her mum's 24 hours a day out there working this business to create long-term freedom and time freedom. So it's really important that you actually take time out with your family, your animals, your friends, and actually go out and have fun. And believe it or not, switch off the phone. Switch off the phone at night. Switch off the phone. Don't wake up in the middle of the night and turn the phone on. Don't wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is roll over to put your phone in your face and look at Facebook and check your messages. There has to be downtime, and that downtime is not talking GWT 24 hours a day. Not everyone's going to get what you're talking about or care, or they're going to get frustrated. And I know Katrina and I are friends, and we have sat in space where I'll just be like, that's enough now. So you need to differentiate when you've had enough of talking GWT and go to the movies. Go and hang out with other GWT friends and make it a rule that you don't talk GWT. Step away from your computer. Have movie nights on the couch. Have date nights and yes, even romance. Get in touch with nature. Make sure you're sleeping 7 hours at least a night. Make sure you're doing some form of exercise. And make sure you're eating right. Because if you're not taking care of you, you're going to have problems down the track. Okay, another big thing that we've been talking about is the Abundance Factor movie. I've written down the website there, and it's really something that you may want to consider if you are, universally in touch or, understand that we are all energy and we are what we attract. They're very big on setting your intention daily with immediate goals and future goals. And understand something, universally, we only receive when we truly give and serve others with no expectations of anything in return. And so because this business is so fantastic in that regard, that by helping everyone in your downline, you end up helping yourself. By helping their success, you gain your own success. So I really recommend you download this movie. It is as big as The Secret, which was a huge movie that came out a couple of years ago, or maybe even longer than that, maybe 10 years ago for some of us. But look, I can really recommend it, and there's been a lot of positive reviews about that movie. We've enjoyed it and watched it several times and had many a great conversation over it. So we're going to actually talk about self-love in a minute, but in the meantime, it's also about remaining positive. I know we've just talked about that before. To do whatever it takes to get into that space. And so now I'm going to talk a bit about what's called dominant space. Okay, so this is a guy called Graziano Dominici, who's very well known, does a lot of work spiritually, and he's on Facebook. So if you like the name, you might want to write it down. A lot of his pictures I've put in come from his Facebook page. He's an Italian guy. So in reading What is Dominant Space, it's being willing to choose a nourishing and nurturing space to live in, to be in control of your space, to become aware of the space that you are choosing to be in right now. And is that space being created for you? Is it nourishing and nurturing your dominant space? Because if you are, then great, keep choosing to be in it. So when your space is right, your dominant space of success, your dominant space of joy and ease, your dominant space of creating success in GWT, you'll just create more and more and more of that. It's always sitting in the right space, getting yourself in that right positive space. So I hope that actually makes sense with what it is that we're talking about tonight. So before we go into self-love, which is huge, it is again remaining positive, guys. No matter what, the stuff's going to take you down. It's just how it is. You know, if you watch too much of the news, you'll feel crap. If you know the news is negative. If you sit in a negative space where someone who tells you GWT won't work, you may have a partner in your space who doesn't get the business, who doesn't believe in the business. You may have friends who are like that. You may have parents, your sister, your mates down the road. Who knows? The point is that when you build your own tripod of belief, going back to the first or second slide, it does not matter what anyone says, because your tripod of belief is so solid. You know, my favorite word, solid. It's so solid that it doesn't matter what anyone says, you will always know that you're walking your truth and you're getting the job done. So I'm going to let Kat talk a bit about self-love.
Thanks, Tan. So self-love, this is an interesting topic, and I thought it quite fitting for me to talk about. Those that know me will know that I struggle with this on a daily basis, and you know, it's about practicing thinking and acting in alignment with one's own happiness. So, you know, what does that mean? So it's being, doing and saying the things that make us happy. So often we talk down to ourselves, and you know, Tania's telling me off all the time because I constantly talk down to myself, and we remind ourselves what we are not. We possibly are comparing ourselves to our future self, or worse, the perfection we perceive in others. So, you know, this is a massive thing for some people, and we're always comparing and judging ourselves compared to other people. And for what reason? You know, our uniqueness, our differences, our hidden from the outside world vulnerabilities, that carry the essence of our individuality, that could truly connect us with ourselves and the outside world. If only we embrace them and recognise their brilliance. You know, what makes us different is what makes us brilliant. So, you know, self-love is a broad, massive topic, and I could talk about it for quite some time. But in a nutshell, you know, it's not about waking up every morning with the urge to hug yourself. It is quite simply just speaking to yourself, coaching yourself, and treating yourself the same way that you would your best friend. You know, who of us, you know, whenever we make a mistake, do we constantly beat ourselves up? Or do we coach ourselves through it? And do we actually encourage ourselves to try again and improve what our approach is? I think that's really fitting in this business. You know, we're going to be knocked down quite a lot. Tania and I were both out prospecting today with my mum. And, you know, my mum's blowing me away every week with just how amazing she's doing in this business. She had a lot of self-doubt, a lot of self-talk. And, you know, the prospecting that we did today, it didn't go as planned. The guy that we met up with, you know, he wasn't interested. It wasn't for him. And we could have taken that as a negative, but we actually looked at the positive. We took away some lessons from that experience. And, you know, this business is not right for him. And quite frankly, I think we sat in a space of going, you know, we don't want to work with people that are don't see this business that's, you know, the same light that we do. And we're not out to get people or convince people. So, you know, that was an awesome exercise for us to go through today. And I know that I personally got a lot out of that, and I think, you know, Tania and my mum did as well. And it just showed us not to beat ourselves up. In terms of, I've got one more point there. What you focus on expands, so focus on the good stuff. Always focus on the good stuff and be you. Unapologetically be you. Tania talks about this all the time. People buy you and your energy, so be the energy. You know, people wonder how they can prospect and get people. We're not in the getting game, guys. You know, people are attracted to us. They're attracted to our energy, and they want to be a part of what we have. You know, most of the time, before we've even got our prospects onto a three-way call, they've already made a decision. They've made a decision because they've got that relationship with you. Now, if they don't have that relationship, then you're flying blind. So first part of our business is to build relationships, and you build them by being yourself. So what makes us different is what makes us brilliant, and sometimes the smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest step of your life. I'll hand back over to Tania.
Okay, hopefully you guys are getting lots out of this. Let me just flip the slide. Quite simply, being in awareness and allowance is what will truly set you apart from others on the planet and help create the dominant space of receiving and igniting your capabilities. Now, Graziano Dominici is someone that I follow on Facebook. And a lot of the work that we do ourselves, Katrina and I, is very much about this belief in energy space. And we both personally believe that is why our business is doing so well. We've done a lot of work on ourselves to sit in this space and understand that we are quite simply energy. So when you're happy and joyful and grateful, and when you're deep in this space, deep inside of yourself, you're in your dominant space. And that will ignite a lot of capacities and a lot of possibilities that would never be possible if you're not in what I call your dominant space. And so Rob's made a comment on there about that we become what our dominant thoughts are. Again, what is your dominant space? What is your thinking? Are you expanding out? Are you creating opportunities? Are you going out and forcing your energy onto other people? Or are you working with the universe to allow people to come to you? So it really does come down to mindset and belief again and again and again. It's everything. And people will buy your energy. They don't buy their company. It's part of it. The products are fantastic. No one doubts it. When you know the knowledge and you have it in your brain, it just rolls off your tongue. But people will be attracted to your energy, and they make the eye contact, and they've decided right there and then within 30 seconds whether they want to work with you or not, or whether they like you or not. And so that's the stuff that you're working on when you connect with people. And when you're in awareness and allowance, it comes to you. It truly does. Again, just something to ponder, because, a lot of people throw out there that, I've heard some people say, oh, money is rootable evil, money is just the wrong energy, money is just energy. So just something to ponder, because Graziano says that money is actually not energy, it's a system. And so we buy into the system. Money is a space, and money is a set of frequencies. And so when we learn to tap into those frequencies and understand that money, whether you believe it's an energy or it is a set of frequencies, it's about putting it out to the universe and how you attract it to you. At the end of the day, 98% of us have joined this business because we're chasing money and time freedom. But that money and time freedom allows us to go and do all the things that we want to do, whether it's charity work, travel the world, help our kids, retire our parents, et cetera, et cetera. It's really what is the basis of why we joined GWT. But the great thing is we've been backed up with fantastic products, a company that's full of integrity, a great culture, people that really want to have success, have your success and help you and reach down to you and help you move forward. And that are all the reasons why Katrina and I joined this business. So we're so grateful that when we did ask the universe back in March to bring something to the table, by the time May hit, we were sitting in front of GWT and going for gold to run.
Diamond.
I'm going for diamond, but going for gold. So, I hope that, we certainly are open to questions. If you want to type them in or raise your hand, we can unmute you. But in the meantime, we're just going to quickly go through some of the announcements coming up. So I'll just tag team with Kat. The first thing coming up is the boot camp. This is the online boot camp for Toronto. I will be hosting it as Ambassador of the Month with Katrina jumping in because she is on site. If everyone knows, she's doing fly in, fly out right now. So as long as she can stay awake, we'll just be hosting that. It's on November the 14th, which will be, just trying to think what that is in Australian time. I was in Perth time. It's telling us 9:30 a.m. on the 14th of November, which will be 8:30 p.m. Australian time. Is that right? On the 14th. because it's their morning, our night. So we will clarify that up for everyone. The webcast pricing is $10. If you are moving towards leadership roles within the Australian team, you will not be entitled to talk at any of the boot camps unless you've tuned in to a Canadian boot camp. They are the new rules that you must know and understand how to do a boot camp and tune into a boot camp in Toronto to be entitled as a diplomat to actually speak at an Australian boot camp. So that's on November the 14th, and we will have dates and confirmation of time in the GWT pages. I'll get Kat to talk about the huge promotion that's going on right now.
Thanks, Tan. So guys, for those that didn't see it on the GWT Corp page, we do have a massive promotion that's been launched from our CEO, Ramin. So it's 10 BDMs launched in the month of November, silver and above. It'll give you $1,000 in bonuses. So you obviously get your $500 in wholesale profits as per normal. So $1,500 right before Christmas, guys. That's an amazing incentive. And for those that want to get on the Ambassador Cruise, this is a perfect opportunity, perfect drive for you guys to actually push yourselves and get there. So 10 VDMs is what it takes, with 3 of those being diplomats in your VDM launches to make it to Ambassador. So we want to see everyone on that cruise in April. I think Tania's got the slide for that.
Sorry guys, yeah, it's coming up.
Okay, hang on, I'll pass back to Tania.
Well, before we actually talk about the cruise, we're actually going to talk about the GWT story. Now, guys, if you have not done your 2 to 3 minute video blog about why you've joined GWT and how GWT has changed your life, then you need to do it. And note to self, I need to do it myself. So it's really important because, believe it or not, Katrina's had a lot of inquiries because of that, with her whole fly in, fly out role and her life that she's had. People are wanting to know more. So just know that when you're raw and real and you stick it on your personal page and you stick it into the GWT pages, you could be inspiring someone who's not really been building the business to say, oh, okay, yeah, now I remember my why. So this is really important. They also now have, if you actually read my slide, they have the compilation video, and I think Rob made a guest appearance on that, Rob Pampling from Perth, and it was really, really cool. So it's actually available to watch, worth the time to just see why people have joined this amazing company. You can also submit your video today, as you see there, to graphics@gwtcorp.com and put it on your pages and hashtag MyGWTStory. If you don't know what hashtagging means, it just means that if anyone does a search for MyGWT story, every person that's put a hashtag on that, it will come up in the search bar.
Yeah, guys, so I mentioned the cruise before. So this is in April. So it's a 4-night cruise, 5 days, leaving straight after the annual convention down in Florida. So just imagine being on this cruise with your business partners, your friends, some of, all the top earners, the CEO, senior VP from GWT, all of us on the cruise. I mean, that's what you call immersing yourself amongst successful people. So we want everyone to be on that cruise. If you don't know how you can make it to the cruise, if you're still unsure what it takes to be an ambassador, then make sure that you are asking your My 5, or if you're not even sure what your My 5 is, then please get in touch with your sponsor. So want to see everyone on that cruise. I know we've got a few of us going so far, but we would love to see more Aussies and Kiwis on that cruise.
Yeah, just in line with that, if you're actually on, we had the CDSE call, which is for diplomats and above, yesterday. They're confirming that you have till like January to make ambassador. It's actually not too late. And look, the way Reza was talking, right up until if there's enough room on the boat. So don't delay. Honestly, if you don't want to sleep for 4 days, you need to be on this cruise because there's going to be some massive golden nuggets being dropped and more inspirations for us to all run towards regional ambassador. So now's the time, guys. You're looking at 311 people that's kicked off from the Australian side into the other countries. We're just in the beginning of the beginning. So now's the time. Get out there and be afraid, non-afraid, let me say, and don't be afraid to talk to people because you have something sitting in your lap that's massive, absolutely massive. And when you own it and you believe in it, and believe me, the people will be attracted to that. And just in closing, we've just got the last slide now that we're going to talk about is the exciting convention, which is the 10th annual convention next year from April 7th to the 9th before we head off on the cruise. This is a fantastic, I mean, you've got to be there. We did the Canada trip last July for Forensic Networker. Best decision we ever made. We found the money. And for $139 a ticket for 2 full days plus the gala admission, that's unheard of. And if you've been in other network marketing companies, that is unheard of. So it's at the International Plaza in Toronto, which is near the airport. 3 fun-filled days of excitement and celebration, and a great chance for you to eat some cake and find a very mosh piece in there. So they give one of those away to one lucky winner. And again, early bird prices are $139. Reserve your seat now, get in. You don't have to pay for accommodation. We've booked ours, and you don't have to pay till 6 weeks before. So this is something that you really should do as a once in a lifetime. And if you have any little bit of doubt, by the time you've attended this, you'll be walking away 1,000 feet tall. So that's it, guys. That pretty much wraps up what we were talking about tonight, and only a minute over. If there's anyone who has any questions, if they want to type it in, you guys can let me know, or look, throw it up on the team pages.
Unmute if people want.
If you want to raise your hand, and we can even unmute you if you like, if you've got any questions. But pretty much it's more of an informative talk. So, yeah, thanks everyone for saying that we've done a good job. It's it's something I've always wanted to talk about, and we try and sit in that space. We are all only human. And, we all have ups and down days. It's really about, that collective evolution and everyone working together and having belief to know that we've got a big job to do. So I love you all, and I'll get Kat to sign off and say goodbye. And if you are, the next webinar is Australian time, is Monday morning. Don't forget, now at 10:15, Monday morning, and that is Night of the Stars. So if you are on Night of the Stars and you've launched 4 VDM Silver and above, or you've gone and been recognised as a diplomat or an ambassador, or gone and sold $1,000 in retail like Katrina's mum, Judy Naylor, has done, then you need to submit the stuff to myself, Katrina, Ronan, or Stacey, and we will be compiling those slides and going through them on Monday morning Australian time. So congratulations everyone who's been working hard. Keep doing the do, and here's Katrina to sign off.
Yeah, guys, Lior, Trevina's just asked about Lior's announcement. So Lior's just let us know he needs another week to put it together. He knows everyone's hanging out for that, but it is going to be huge. So tuning in next week, and we'll hear what Lior's announcement is. I'm sure a lot of you jumped on tonight thinking that that's what was going to happen, but, you got to hear Tania and I instead. So, woohoo! But yeah, Lior will have an announcement next week. It's all being finalised. So everyone tune in. I cannot stress to all of you the importance of getting on these webinars.
Tell Rob, just confirm with Rob, it is 4 VDMs. You must have 4 VDMs silver and above.
Yeah, Rob, as far as we know, it's 4 VDMs, but write it in your My 5 just to confirm. But that's all, guys. Thanks again, and yeah, jump on all the training events. Make sure that you're tuning into the boot camp over in Toronto. You guys are going to learn a lot. If you want to step up into leadership, start leading your teams, lead from the front. People can't see you from behind. Monkey see, monkey do. So let's all get busy. Month of November, make the most of that promotion. We'll talk to you all soon.
To the billion!
To the billion, guys.
Woohoo!